Good afternoon and welcome. Thanks, Harry, for that introduction. My name's Dom Norton. I'm the Sales Director at Spitfire, and I'm very pleased to be taking you through our final session this afternoon to launch Spitfire becoming an MVNO. So here we are on the last chapter of our story. So you've heard a small build-up to this throughout the earlier two sessions, and where we complete the final piece of our connectivity jigsaw. So to date, just a quick recap, our mission is to provide our partners and customers with the best possible choice of fixed line fiber at any given location. Earlier today, you heard how as an ISP we interconnect with 8 different wholesale providers for dedicated fiber Ethernet and 5 for full fiber FTTP broadband. We can route traffic directly to leading cloud providers such as AWS and Azure, as well as other platforms in the cloud through the Equinix Cloud Fabric, and also across to other data centers in the UK. What about locations where fixed line isn't suitable? Users who are mobile or indeed themselves are in remote locations. Devices that don't even need a local area network. Sensors that need to be easily connected. So what about the Internet of Things, IoT? So why should a remote site or a device in the field needing an IP address, why should it be any different to a laptop in an office? Why does the data even need to connect over the internet in the first place with the configuration and ongoing management of VPNs? So mobile connectivity then, the final piece of our jigsaw. So imagine a secure private network where customer sites, data centers, cloud providers, devices, sensors, they're now all connected seamlessly, no matter whether through mobile, fixed line, or cloud connectivity. Eliminating all those complexities then for managing separate connections, different service providers, and without the need for public internet traversal. So I'd like to introduce One Network. So this morning you've heard about some of our products and the journey that we've taken in building our network to support both today's and tomorrow's connectivity demands. And this launch today, it really marks another significant milestone in that journey towards providing innovative solutions to you, our partners. And this is what really sets us apart from our competitors. One supplier, one contract, one bill, one contact. So I'd like to introduce Enhanced Mobile. So Enhanced Mobile is a key component of One Network. And it's the name that we will refer to Spitfire's new suite of products and solutions for voice, data, and IoT connectivity. And it will be enhanced by our core network features such as security, private wide area networking, and also fixed mobile convergence for telephony. As an MVNO, Spitfire will connect into EE's fantastic radio access network. And for the first time, as Harry said, we will offer Spitfire mobile SIMs. And at launch, these will be for IoT connectivity. So before I delve deeper into Enhanced Mobile, I'll take you through the product shortly. Let me just take a moment for those of you that don't know what exactly is an MVNO, a mobile virtual network operator. And more importantly, so what that entails, and importantly, what type Spitfire have agreed and its significance to the product that we can provide to you. So an MVNO, or mobile virtual network operator, it basically provides the capability for a company to offer mobile communications without actually owning the radio access network and the infrastructure. So there are various ways to achieve this. Each have different levels of complexity, responsibilities, and of course, financial commitment. So the easiest way, I've put on the left-hand side here, top left, is white label or reseller. And these typically, you might have a big, established, big-name consumer brand, and mobile may just be another product that you want to sell into your large existing customer base. So these types of they'll likely want to be as hands-off as possible with the mobile network operator doing most of the legwork to deliver the service, other than actually find the customers. So as far as the MVNO is concerned, it's the fastest time to market, the lowest cost, and it requires the least amount of technical understanding. The problem is that it's got the least flexibility in the type of product and also the pricing that we can offer. So then we move on to something known as an enhanced provider. As you can see there, so some of these things from the mobile network are now, these responsibilities are shifting over to the MVNO. And so they start to become responsible for things like customer care and also the commercial proposition itself, including service management and billing. Although the key control components of running the mobile network still remain with the mobile network operator or the MNO. So again, the costs increase, the requirement for the technical understanding increase, but there's still some dependency on the MNO, the mobile network operator, for the actual products themselves. So this is typically a layer 3 type of solution. And then on the far right of my diagram, then we've then got the full MVNO. As you can see from the diagram, virtually all these responsibilities now, other than actually running the radio access network itself, move into the responsibility of the MVNO. So that means it is typically the highest cost scenario. It does require a very detailed level of technical understanding. However, what it means for the MVNO is that they now have full control over defining the service that they can offer, and it provides complete flexibility in things like product innovation and development. So, hopefully I've simplified this down, but we'll see. So this is a full MVNO scenario, and what I'd like to show and what we see is that various components of the actual mobile core network move from the mobile network operator's network into the MVNO's network. And I've put on the screen here, it's a very extremely simplified image of a mobile network operator's 4G network. There are a hell of a lot more that goes into that, which is a simplified view. But on the left-hand side there, we've got the SIM cards, and they use something called an IMSI number. So it's a unique reference number to register with the mobile network. And it communicates with this server on the top right, which is called the home subscriber server. And that stores all of these issued numbers and their whereabouts and location and things like that. Once it's authenticated, it then is able to transmit its data down the bottom path to a device at the bottom right of this diagram called the packet gateway. It says PGW. And that's responsible for some other things, but that includes IP addressing, and also it's the gateway to the public internet. So what we see in the full MVNO scenario is that those components on the right, these HSS and this packet gateway, they move over into the MVNO's core network. And I've highlighted that in blue, so you can see that those elements are now run by the MVNO. And so they're now responsible for that registration process. So not only do they need to supply the SIM cards, which are obviously on the left there, but they also now need to assign these unique IMSI numbers so that the users can authenticate a subscriber to the mobile network. They're responsible for things like IP address allocation, session security, and then the data is then passed via that PGW, which is now in our core network, and interconnects into the rest of our core so that we can then send that traffic on either to the internet or to another service that we may provide via our core network. So we're now building a mobile connectivity solution at layer 2, and as I've just said, this is the route that Spitfire went down when we formed our partnership with EE. So before I move on, I thought I'd just show you what this IMSI number looks like. And it's a 15-digit number, and it consists of three main parts. So the first part is the first 3 digits identifies the country, and 234 in this instance is the UK. The next 2 digits then is something called a mobile network code, and that identifies the carrier that you're going to connect to. And then the last 10 digits allows you to make up this unique reference number that allows a subscriber to connect to the network. And the reason I'm showing you this number is that there are actually a limited number of companies within the UK, now including Spitfire, that are assigned one of these MNC codes, these 2-digit codes, and therefore can issue these IMSI numbers. And here's the list that I downloaded from the Ofcom website and there's Spitfire with our designated MNC code of 05. The list is a fairly short one, and it's typically made up of full MVNOs or mobile network operators themselves. Most of the other MVNOs then fall into one of those other categories that I mentioned earlier. I'll just take a sip, 1 second. So, why did we do it? Why did we go down the full MVNO route? It sounds very difficult, it's costly, extremely time-consuming. It did take quite a while to get to this stage. So what benefit does it provide, especially to you sat here, our partners? Well, I think it's important to say we weren't starting from scratch. We've been a Tier 2 internet service provider since 2000. We operate our own core network. We were already an Annex 2 licensed telephone operator interconnecting with the public telephone networks since 2001. We built our own SIP network in 2007. And so we already had a lot of the required infrastructure, the technology, the billing platform, and most importantly, the technical know-how to successfully complete a project of this type. It's also worth noting that we do have a very long-standing relationship with BT Wholesale spanning over 23 years. And so who better to work with to help us build this complete network? So at this point, I'd just like to draw a comparison with fixed line, just to show you how we've brought mobile into our core. And as I said earlier, we interconnect with 8 different wholesale fiber access providers to connect our customers into the network on fixed line. And this really gives us control then over how we can design and innovate the products that we provide to you, how we can secure and support them. And what are the services we can deliver over them? So everything here is coming into the core network as Andy and Pete and the others went through in this morning's sessions. So this collaboration with EE, it allows us to use their radio access network, and just like fixed line, we bring that data back into the core so that we can provide you with more than just internet access. We control the setup and configuration of how IP addresses are allocated, the network security, and importantly, we have complete flexibility in the service and the commercial offering, and therefore the price plans that we can provide. So I'm going to hand over to Nick, who's from BT Wholesale, before I actually go into the Spitfire solution itself. And I think we thought it'd be a great idea at this point just to give you a better understanding of the EE network, this fantastic network that we're now connected into. Nick's the MVNO director at BT Wholesale. I don't know if you've got your own introduction, actually, but it's too late. And together, as Harry said, together with Nick's team and our team at Spitfire have worked extremely hard over the last couple of years to bring this all together and achieve this goal of Spitfire launching as an MVNO officially today. So over to Nick, and then I'll come back to explain the product.